A lot of these structures, a non-urban area would probably just pound the posts in similar to a T-post, just straight into the ground. In an urban area, a lot of folks are finding it's better to put a concrete pier in. The concrete piers are going to add a lot of weight and stability to that structure, plus they're deeper than what the ground stakes are, so it's going to provide extra support for that structure. The layout of the structure is the first step. You need to square that structure. They're going to lay a diagonal line from one corner to the next, and the dimension should be the same between opposite corners. Around the outside of the high tunnel, either plan on farming it as long as you're controlling erosion, that there isn't going to be an erosion issue off the structure itself, or putting some type of a landscape fabric or barrier around the outside, because you'll end up getting weeds, especially perennial weeds or rhizome spreading type weeds like quackgrass, spreading underneath from the outside and causing you lots of weeding issues in the future. After the ground stakes are poured, then they're going to start building those hoops. They're pieced together and screwed together with self-tapping screws. The hoops are usually laid out on the ground. They're slid together. The ends of the pieces are swaged so one fits into the other. And then they're attached with one or two screws. There's usually a side piece on each side, and then there's one or two pieces for the hoops. The truss part is attached to the hoops with a cross connector or a strap, and then those hoops are moved onto the ground stakes. You also need to tie each of those hoops together with a purlin, and a lot of them have at least one, if not three or more purlin runs. One down the center usually, and then two more down the sides. Basically, it makes that structure act as one rather than each individual hoop. The other part of a lot of these structures is they have some type of wind bracing or corner bracing system. The corners are where you can gain some strength with bracing to tie that structure together even more and to provide some wind protection and wind bracing. The baseboards and the hip boards, those also tie that structure together similar as what the purlins would. And that's going to go along the base of the structure along the length. And that's where you're going to have your roll-up sides anchor into when it's rolled down. And then you're going to have a hip board, which is the top of that roll-up side. So the bottom of the roof would attach to that hip board for the plastic, and the top of the roll-up sides would attach at that point. The end walls are built differently by just about all producers to make sure that they can get the equipment in and out and themselves in and out. It acts as a vent too. They can actually take the end walls off during the summer, or they have large like roll-up doors or other types of doors on there that they can open it up to ventilate it during the summer months. And a lot of them will put end vents at the peak to also allow that hot air and the humidity to escape.